Good morning. Welcome to our 10:30 kids story time. And as you can see in the video here, I've got my grandson. This is Solomon. And Solomon, that's a hard name to live up to. Solomon, he's other than Jesus, he's the wisest man that ever lived. God gave him more wisdom and understanding. And you can see hiding in the corner is little Clara. She wants to be one part of the program too. So Solomon and I, we worked yesterday together a little bit in the afternoon, and we worked on repairing a couple doors that weren't working, and it never really worked the right way, and on a little building I've got here. And so we used saws and hammers and screwdrivers and pliers and all kinds of different size a drill and drill bits, and we did all kinds of things. And I reminded Solomon of a saying, when you go to measure, if you don't watch, if you measure and then you think you have the right measurement and you've maybe got the numbers backwards or something and you go to cut the board, once you cut the board, it's too late. And so there's a kind of a famous saying. Solomon, do you remember what that saying was?
Measure twice, cut once.
Yeah, measure twice and cut once. That's right. And see, if you measure once and you think you got it, and you go over, you cut the board off, and you bring it back, and you think, what? Well, this doesn't fit. What did I? But if you measure twice, and really what that is all about is learning to be careful, cautious. There's another old saying that says, haste makes waste. If you get in a big hurry to do things, it can cause you to make a mistake and then you do the wrong thing. Well, I want to read a couple verses to you. I'm going to read a few more verses than normal, and this is from Proverbs chapter number 6. And these are verses where Solomon, the wise man Solomon, is warning his son, the young people in his life. He's warning them. And so yesterday when we were working, I'm 61. I'm a pretty old guy. Solomon's 12. He's a pretty young guy. And so at 61, I've seen a lot more stuff go on, good and bad, than what Solomon has in his 12 years. 61 years, I've seen a lot of good and bad stuff. Solomon, not so much. He's just seen a little bit. So it's a good thing for me to share with Solomon and say, hey, this, watch out for this. Or this is the way you need to do it. And in the book of Proverbs, that's what Solomon does for his people. He says, a naughty person. And I think we know what a naughty person is. They're a troublemaker. Somebody that's always doing the wrong thing. A naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a froward mouth. Or he's got a mouth that he doesn't control and he just brags and lies. He does all kinds of stuff. Bad stuff with his mouth. He winketh with his eyes. He speaketh with his feet. He teacheth with his fingers. Frowardness is in his heart. He deviseth mischief continually. He just dreams up bad stuff constantly. He soweth discord. He just causes people to argue and not get along. He loves that. He laughs when he can cause people to argue and fight and bicker between them. This guy thinks that's a lot of fun. Therefore shall his trouble come suddenly. Suddenly shall he be broken without remedy. These 6 things does the Lord hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that dreams up wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, and a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that sows discord among the brethren. There's a lot of stuff there to be careful to avoid. And so I thought, those verses talk about a troublemaker. Somebody that's dishonest and they're a liar, and they'll use their mouth to say things. They'll run over here to one guy and say this to him and say that, hey, Bill said this about you, and then he run over to Bill and then say, hey, Tom said this about you, and back and forth. And before long, Bill and Tom are mad at one another, and neither one has said anything. And the guy, the troublemaker, he stands off to the side and snickers and laughs and thinks that's so much fun. He's a troublemaker. And God says, I don't like troublemakers. I don't like it when people cause 2 other people to be at odds with one another. And so those verses, it said, I'm going to ask Solomon. It says that that troublemaker, he could use his eyes. How could a troublemaker use his eyes?
To wink and just
He's
give
so
secret messages. And,
secret message. He gets with his buddy and wink. Watch me do this over here. Maybe you don't know it. You don't catch his wink. He winks at his buddy and says, watch what I do here. Well, how could the troublemaker use his hands?
To fight and punch and...
Yeah, he could cause people to really get into a fight. Like a bully. I've heard of people walking down the street minding their own business and someone just hauls off and punches them. For no reason. What a troublemaker that is. Well, how could a troublemaker use his feet to cause trouble?
To go places he's not supposed to go.
Run around and be a sneak. Go places if it says no trespassing, keep out, what are you supposed to do? If no trespassing, keep out, what are you supposed to do?
Not go in.
That's right. That's exactly right. Well, it says even these fingers. How could you use your fingers to be a troublemaker?
To steal stuff.
Yeah, you could go into a store and say, I like Snicker candy bars. I think I'll take a couple. And you just reach out there with your fingers and you put a couple in your pocket and now you've caused trouble. You're a troublemaker for that store owner. So there's a lot of ways. And so to cause trouble, God talks about it. And so we have to learn to be careful. Like we were being careful when we cut boards. Remember you're saying when you cut the board?
Measure twice, cut once.
Measure twice and cut once. You only have to make one cut, but be careful. Think about it. And so that reminds me to be careful and think about what I'm doing with my life. Do I need to say what I'm tempted to say? Do I need to punch that guy? Do I need to run over there? Do I need to steal that? And the answer would be no. So Solomon, thanks for helping me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thanks for helping me, Clara. Yeah. So, y'all have a good day.